Hi, everybody. Greg McVeigh here. Welcome to Roadies and Rebels, the podcast. My guest today is my brother. Yes, my brother, Scott McVeigh. Join us as we talk about his lifelong journey into film and video and as it kind of intersects with my lifelong journey in music. As always, please subscribe to the channel. And Jasper, let's hit it.
Gossip for some is a real event. They strap on and button up their Sunday best. Stand straight and smile and do all the rest. Don't laugh, she found me this ridiculous line of bullshit. It came to rest and settle somehow like a fact.
So tell me, Scott,
Yeah.
I forget,
Right.
when was it we first met?
I believe that it was on my birthday. I can remember it was on my birthday, July 26, 1955.
Boy, we've known each other a long time, huh?
That's been a while.
As I recall, you were into film, making movies, and cars at a very, very young age. And I was into
That's-
music.
I agree with that.
And
I mean,
and
I
somehow
would-
we kept out on those paths in a funny way.
yeah, that's a pretty cool point.
Did you make like a 8mm must have been movie with
Yeah.
Matchbox toy cars?
Oh yeah,
Where you would
know,
move it up a frame, maybe a
Yeah.
frame. I know nothing, but talk about
Yeah.
that.
Well, you're right. It's interesting that you remember that because I wouldn't have. Yeah, so I got a bunch of my buddies together, and my best friend Jerry Tobias, when I was growing up, his dad had a big train set in the basement,
Hmm.
and we were only allowed to touch it, certain time. It was very
Sure.
serious. It wasn't just like, but it had all these cars and buildings and planes, and so I was real interested in film. So we got special permission, I guess, from Mr. Tobias, from Jer's dad, to make this movie use his what I would call toys. They were, like you said, little Matchbox size. I don't know. They probably were Matchbox toys, and the buildings. And so we would make a street. It was just a chase
Yeah.
scene,
Yeah.
and a
Just a chase
train.
scene. I
So
love it.
a car is sitting there, and a train's going by. The car, almost hits the train. The cop goes. You had a bunch of police. So anyway, yeah. So we moved. I had a bunch of buddies come over, and we worked on this thing until we fell asleep the next night or something. Like it was probably 24 hours of work. Every car on the whole. We had a pool table for our area,
Yeah.
our town, our little town.
Right.
We made a town. We had a train going by. Somebody had to move the train. Move.
It was
Click,
per
click.
frame. Is that how it worked?
Yeah,
or-
frame by frame. Yeah,
Amazing.
I had a Super 8 camera that had a frame by frame button on it, and so the cop comes and chases this guy down the street, and the train's gone, and then he gets to the end and goes around the corner. Cop goes, and we're also, while we're moving these cars, we're sort of slide it to the side just
Yeah.
a little bit so the tail end is coming out. No, not too much. And we all had to do every car. Oh, that car should be going slower, so it's coming up to a
Like
traffic
you would
light.
know.
Slower and slower. Somehow we did know.
Yeah. Well, you probably saw chase
I think
scenes.
I knew because I think I was sort of telling everybody what to do. But then as they went around the corner, I just thought, well, what's down there, So we took all the buildings we had, rebuilt the whole, like we made a cut, like, oh,
Right.
now we're cutting to around that corner, a whole new row of
You-
buildings,
you
whole
were
new,
this- so
here comes the,
you were
it was-
ahead of your time.
it was a little bit, now that this is the first time I even thought about this since then. And anyway, so we did all that work. And then in those days, you had to go, because I'm old, you had to take it to the drugstore,
Yeah, get it
get
developed. right?
developed, and they would like send it away to Kodak, I think, or something. And when it came back, and I looked at it, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen!"
a
I
hit.
couldn't believe it. The cars are sliding around turns and coming right past the camera, and the train's off in the distance, still going, and I couldn't believe how great it was. And
Wow.
is this podcast about music?
We'll get there. I'm in charge.
Okay, good. Because
Just
there's
keep
no
talking.
music. Okay.
let you know.
So I was just trying to.
There's no audio, right?
There was no audio. That's what
Yeah.
was just occurring to me. I'm picturing it with all this wild. Dun, 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 dun.
It was a
But it's
high-tech
just-
silent movie.
Well, it was the sound of a projector. Yes, I was really into it. I was really into movies, and you were really into music. That's for sure.
Well, then let's do this. Let's go fast forward. Good. So now you're at Michigan State. What did you major in? Is that what it is, majoring?
They call it
I
at the
know
time.
nothing.
It was called TV and radio. So funny. But later, I don't know, a couple of years later, they changed it to telecommunications, which I guess included, I don't know. But I just wanted to make movies, you know.
You got into the concert thing.
Yeah.
How did
What
that
happened
happen?
I'll tell you, it was very carefully plotted. I really plotted out my career
Did you?
in those days. Yeah, it was
Did you
cold
now?
in Michigan. It gets super cold.
Does
I
it?
never liked the cold,
We're
and I
getting
never
some
wore.
good info here.
Yeah, these are probably things you never knew about me.
I was
Things
not
never
aware.
knew about. Well, I never liked the cold, and yet I never liked having a coat. So I think I was destined to move to California at some point. But in the meantime, you know, I'm walking across campus to my class and just free. Like I'd have a light jacket on or something.
I
and it's
remember that bit of that.
snowing. It was,
Jesus.
it was awful. They
Can't
did
even-
later come out with these big parkas, but anyway, at the time I was freezing.
They
So
made these
what I would
parkas.
do is, and the campus is 3 miles by 2 miles.
Yeah.
It's a big school.
I remember
Physically big.
visiting.
I would go from building to building to try to stay warm,
Sure.
and so I cut through this big ice arena that was heated. It was nice and warm in there, and
Was that Munn?
it was
Munn?
Munn Ice Arena
Munn
at
Ice
the
Arena.
time. Might have heard it. Might have changed its name,
Oh.
but yeah. And there's going to be a concert. I didn't even know this. There was going to be a Gordon Lightfoot concert that night, and so the guys were setting it up, and they were students. I could tell they were students. You know, they were my age.
Mhm.
So I just skipped my class and went down there and just sat on one of this, you know, in the bleachers watching. And they had to take the glass down. It was a hockey.
Yeah.
They were serious about hockey at that school. So anyway, I'm kind of watching
So you're taking the glass.
And
You
it
took
was-
the glass down. Oh, you're watching the concert get set up.
glass down, and then they have to cover up the ice, and then start setting up seats, and then a stage, and then the band comes in. I guess they're playing. Yeah, they're playing that night. So maybe it's noon or something by the time they show up, and they're just and I didn't know this was unusual. They're just driving a station wagon. Gordon Lightfoot from someplace in Canada. I guess they just drove there, and they had a little 2 speakers, a little PA system in the back.
Sure, Vocal Master.
I remember during the show, because we would run the spotlights also,
The Super Trooper.
Super Trooper spotlights, which is a little complicated. I wasn't allowed to do that at that time, but I was watching. Everything went fine, except in the middle of the show, one of the spotlights started just going
really?
down. The spotlight is way back at the back.
Up,
you know,
up
and
high,
so-
right? Up,
Yeah,
probably.
well, it's at ground level, and the band is down in that hole.
Oh, that's right, because it's down, sunken.
So up high to them and
Yeah.
up high to the audience, yeah. And
So
so
it's slowly.
it's slowly going down. I don't know whether the guy's lighting a cigarette or I don't know
Yeah.
because he's way back there in the dark. But I specifically was watching and thinking, well, I wouldn't want to be in charge of that. That's
This
interesting.
can't be
And
good.
It got lower and lower, and Gordon Lightfoot, to his credit, just started crouching down, still with his guitar and still playing. Oh, if I had footage of that,
Bless his heart.
everybody laughed, and then the guy, came to his senses.
Got it together.
Got
hilarious.
it together. But, but I mean, I guess he knew how to operate the spotlight, so they put him on that job.
You did Springsteen, I remember.
Yeah, I got
Did he
screamed at by
Tell
Bruce.
me.
Yeah,
Tell me.
do you remember that?
I remember you.
Were you there?
No, I wasn't there, but I remember you were upset.
Oh yeah, you're right. So, like when we would set these shows up, this thing would happen where you start to feel like after about 40 hours of work, you start to sort of feel like it's your show.
Yeah.
But the band's coming in tomorrow in the morning or around noon or something, and then we'll switch over to getting all their stuff set up. But meanwhile, I got a little cocky and I started marking rows for crew only.
I got a little
So
cocky.
that, and then I
Started
would
stealing seats.
started stealing seats basically, but I didn't occur. Honestly, there was no
Sure.
money thought of it. It was just,
Yeah.
hey, we got this thing. We're setting it all up. It's going to be, God, Bruce
Let's block
Springsteen's
off
going to
some
be
good
tomorrow.
seats. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to tell my friends. So we went out and renumbered the rows where it said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We changed it to 1, 2, 3, 4, crew only, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, when you get to the back, I don't know what I was thinking, but obviously there's going to be some seats that are sold
Yeah.
that are missing. I guess because so many of the shows that we worked were just festival seating. Anyway, regardless of all that, he showed up to rehearse. Springsteen, sorry, Bruce Springsteen showed up to rehearse, and he came walking in. Who's in charge? And I'm like, oh, I'm in charge. And he goes, well, we need to rehearse, and you can stay, and 5 of your guys can stay. It's like maybe 3 in the afternoon or something. But the whole rest of the building has to be emptied out. So I had to go from office to office and ask all the professors and their assistants and stuff, is there any way that you could just leave for an hour? And of course, every one of them said, oh, hell yeah. A, they thought it was kind of cool that Bruce Springsteen was there. And B, they don't want to work.
What an honor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll go out to lunch. So everybody was completely fine with it. I go back and I'm like, okay, the building's empty. And so me and these like 4 or 5 of us got to sit down and watch Bruce Springsteen, rehearse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody else
That's
in the
best.
building. Nobody else in the whole building. I mean, how cool is that? So then they finished and they're sort of walking away, and I'm still standing around on the stage. Everything's all set up and ready for the night. And I hear him yelling.
Uh-oh.
I think he was yelling my name because, I'd introduced myself to him when he told me to empty out the room. But he didn't even walk up and find me. He just went, what the fuck is this? So he's standing next to where we renumbered the rows. I'm so ignorant, I'm so naive.
Naive, right.
I just went right down there and said, well, we just blocked those off for ourselves, so we can invite some friends to watch the show.
For free.
I think somewhere in the back of my mind thinking he might say,
he'll get it.
Cool. Like
he'll get it.
He understands the street and drives race cars and
Jersey.
He likes 69. Yeah, all that. No, he was a very serious businessman and wanted he goes, that's my fucking money.
Yeah.
And I just said, oh, okay, well, just let me put it back. And he's like, okay. And then they left. Everything was fine. It was a big deal to me.
Stayed with you.
It's like, yeah, wasn't the way I imagined.
So then now you're in California. Yeah, but we haven't talked about Culture Club, Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah,
Millie Vanilli.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so let's try it this way. I got an idea. I'll name the act. Give me a quick, if you can.
A short version?
Short version. Because this is some serious stuff. Sting.
Sting,
I was thinking a little faster.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Didn't he? I can help you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, didn't he say to you once about writing the song "Every Breath You Take" that it was easy? Because you did a couple different things with him around the Grammys. I mean, we should explain. By the time you got to Southern California, these things were assignments.
Yeah,
right,
I was getting
whether it's HBO or the Grammy people, you got hired.
Yeah. I had formed with a partner. I had formed a production company, which I still have to this day. My favorite movie that I saw 18 nights in a row was Apocalypse Now. Then I moved to California, and then I had a shoot with Martin Sheen, the star of the movie, and I'm in the scene with him, and then I go to do a shoot in Tahiti.
I remember.
And I end up in Marlon Brando's hut. You
also ended up on the front page of the Tahiti newspaper.
And I ended up on the front page of the Tahiti Times.
I believe with a topless woman, but
topless, yeah. I guess I'm just trying to make this little side point, which is I did not pursue any of these dreams.
Right.
But they are specifically exactly what I would
Yeah.
wish if I would dare wish it. What was your
Sting?
Sting, yeah. So Sting was awesome, and he was in the movie Dune, the original Dune.
That's right.
People don't remember anymore. That was the first movie set that I ever worked on. And
In Mexico City, right?
in Mexico City, but he wasn't available to do his interview. But he also that year got nominated for a Grammy for Every Breath You Take. And we were making a show about the Grammys.
Right.
I
That
had
was it. Right.
An old ex-boss who then went to CBS and called and said, "Hey, you guys want to do a pre-Grammy show special where you go around and interview everybody who's nominated?" And surprisingly, every one of them agreed to it. You know,
Wow.
that's their moment to brag, and it's going to be gone soon. They may not win, but they could at least be interviewed about it as many times. So everybody agreed to it. It was a piece of cake getting people booked. And the only difficult one was Sting, because he just doesn't seem to give a shit about stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I called.
Strictly.
I called David Lynch, the director of the movie, who's down in Mexico. I'm back in LA. I would just go down there for a few days at a time. And I called David Lynch on the phones. I don't know if I can shorten things. Okay, I'm trying. And I just left a message. The phone systems were terrible, saying, "I really need to interview Sting. could you put in a good word about his song?" Like, what balls? I'm 25 years old or something.
That's
and I'm
the
calling
time when you have them.
big time director and saying, "Can you call
That's
this
when
big
you're
time star
fearless.
and do a favor?"
Yeah.
It seemed like he would.
You're
He was-
naive and you're fearless and you're all those things. It's a great time.
and nice, you know.
Well, we're always
not
polite.
Yeah, polite. That's a good word. Anyway, so I get a message from this is the era of tape messages. In fact, I have the cassette tape somewhere here from
I'm sure you
Scott
do.
from David saying, Scott, it's David. Yeah, the Sting thing is all set, and he's staying at the such and such hotel in New York City, but you'll have to go to New York City to do it. And he's under the name Winston Smith, I think was the name that he was using. So if you just go to the front desk and ask for Winston Smith, and
And
sure
wink.
enough, I flew out to New York and went to I forget the hotel. It was like the Plaza or something, a really beautiful hotel. Asked for Winston Smith. Yeah, come on up. And it was Sting.
Talk about Steve Perry, but talk about There Is No South Detroit.
Yeah. Well, so I had a shoot with Journey when they were huge in Detroit. So they had a song where they have a line in there, and they were just super nice guys. And they have a song in one of their, a line in one of their songs where they say South Detroit.
Don't Stop Believing is the song.
Don't Stop Believing. Okay. And man, that's a great song.
Born and raised in South Detroit.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Sorry. And so I just mentioned this to Steve Perry.
So you had him sit down for.
Well,
an
I
interview.
was there for the rehearsal, and they rehearsed that song. This was before we sat him down for the interview. So I said, "It's a great song. I love your song, but there is no South Detroit."
And
you're
you
here
told
in
him
Detroit.
that.
Yeah, I just told him. He's like, "What do you mean there's no South Detroit?" I said, "Well, you have to look at a map, but like south of Detroit is Canada. It's just a weird, like, oh God, oh, okay, all right, well." But it was fine, but it was funny.
Culture Club.
Well, when we did that Grammys show, Grammys, I forget what year, the year of Every Breath You Take, they were also nominated. So I flew after I talked to Sting in New York, I continued on to London to interview Culture Club, all the guys in the band. And I was telling them about the show, and, we're just at some nice hotel in a nice room or something. And George goes, "Who's going to host the show?" And I said, we don't know yet. We try to find somebody.
The Grammy show.
Who's going to host your Grammy show? Right. I said, we usually find somebody, sort of well known. And then what really makes the show great is all these interviews, like what you're doing right now. And George goes, well, we'll host the show for you. And I said that would be awesome, but we can't afford. We pay people like $5,000. He goes, 5,000 is fine. Let's just do that. I would love to host that show. Yeah. So now I got the whole band too, not just George. So I'm looking at their schedule, and our schedule's tight too. It's like we got the nominees, and now we got to get the show done before the night of the Grammys. But
together, right?
But we're in London. But he said, no, we're doing an American tour. We're going to be in Santa Barbara, and you can just have us. We'll do the show, and then you can have us after the show, and whatever you need us to say or do or whatever you want. So
wow.
So then we end up at this cool place that I'm sure you've been, the Santa Barbara Bowl, I think it's called. It's this beautiful place, and we kind of owned the place. So I said, can we shoot a couple of songs? And they were so excited about being on this show.
That would never happen today.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it maybe only happened because here's this nice guy, and he came all the way to London to talk to us. Maybe that had something to do with it, or whatever, or they just were trying to explode, or whatever. But anyway, so we end up at and they have a basement there, and then I think you go up some kind of a stairway or elevator or something to the stage. So they all, instead of being backstage at this place, you're under the stage.
Yeah, right.
So I'm hanging out there, and I'm going over the scripts. And I think your memory is right. I probably told you and then forgot, but I said, aren't you supposed to be going on pretty soon? Or like, are the
crowd
people
is there?
in?
I mean, it's
crowd. Yeah, the crowd should be in the seats. And he goes, well, let's check or something.
Oh, wow.
And he's got a wireless hand mic.
Yeah.
Which was kind of a new thing, at least to me back then.
Sure.
He just turns on his mic and he goes, hello, Santa Barbara. And the crowd goes from up above.
From catering, probably, right?
Yeah, they go completely crazy. And he just looks over and smiles like, isn't that cool? Thank you. Like, just working the crowd.
That's
and
hilarious.
Off he goes up the stairs, and the show starts, and it's all these hit songs. It was
at Neverland with Michael Jackson, because
I spent a whole day with Michael.
We did a video about that a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and I had a good friend who somehow got this assignment to go to Neverland and shoot a bunch of footage for an NBC special, and he had worked for me enough times to see that comfortable with me, and I know what I'm doing. So it went fantastic. I mean, everybody was afraid of him. There were 3 crews.
This is what I remember you telling me. Yeah.
Well, okay. So there was plenty to shoot, and I just said, nobody's with Michael, should I just hang with Michael? Because that's going to be the only shot you're going to use. And my buddy was like, definitely, that's why you're here. So I just walked up to him, and said, I got some ideas, and, you could be running across this bridge right here. He had a bunch of kids who were dying of cancer, like 20 kids who were dying of cancer. They're going to spend the whole day at Neverland riding rides with him. So it was pretty unbelievable. And, so from my first approach to him was, and I said, I don't want to bother you. Is it okay, if I make suggestions and talk to you? And he was like, yeah, I like that idea of going across the bridge. That sounds great.
You jumped to the bridge. You suggested that he dance across the bridge or go.
Yeah, dance across this bridge, and all the kids follow him. Yeah, so I said, I think it'd be real cool. He had this, the whole place was beautiful. You got this cool bridge. I think it'd be really cool if you were dancing across that bridge and all the kids are following you and dancing, and it'll just be a great first way to see you. He's like, yeah, I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. In fact, I remember this like it was yesterday. You can tell me whatever you want me to do.
Wow.
Don't worry about it.
From Michael Jackson.
So I go, run up. Yeah, from Michael Jackson. I run up ahead. So I'm looking back toward the bridge. They come across. And then we just spent the whole day 2 feet apart the whole day, because I saw how special this whole thing was, and it was already booked on an NBC special. So I knew, like, when he's on, each one of his rides had a different Michael Jackson tune blasting out of speakers that they had mounted right into all the rides. So you go from ride to ride, and you're going from song to song. And of course, he's got all his dance moves.
Sure.
For every one of these
He knows how to
songs.
dance across the bridge.
He knows how to sing. He knows how to dance. Yeah. And he was just so there for those kids.
Yeah. I
got on the merry-go-round, and with a little girl, and he's pointing at her and dancing, and she's dancing and pointing. And it was probably the most beautiful thing I ever shot in my life. And my buddy called me the next day, and he said we got a bunch of the footage transferred, took it over to NBC and showed it to him, and they said they've never seen anything like this of Michael ever. Yeah. It's unbelievable.
And a lot of it was because you said, "Can I go talk to him?" I mean, a lot of it's how you are with these
capturing
artists.
It was that, yeah.
But I mean,
it was gonna
because no one was talking. He was by himself, right?
Everybody was a little scared.
Yeah,
well, the reason people get scared is very legit. You could lose your job for the rest of your life.
I agree. I've been through it.
In the wrong way, and I think in retrospect, part of what's worked well for me in my career is to be around people who have a lot to lose, but they brought in this guy Scott, and it's going to go fine. That's always been a big. I've been told that, I had a shoot where I was directing Steven Spielberg. Well, the client that hired me told me, he said, all those suits in the back of the room that we're watching could all lose their jobs if you pissed off Steven. He could just say, all you guys are fired.
Everybody out.
Everybody out.
Clear the deck.
And,
sure.
Because that's your ability, whether you know it or not.
In action. I mean, I was with you in Mexico with Dune one time, and then even with Heil Sound when when we brought you on board to do that volunteer jam with Charlie Daniels.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that wasn't all that long ago. So it's not like this is old stuff that you talk about. But you had that calm and it's going to be fine. And that was getting a little tense. I don't know if you're aware of it, but it just every day another pass, on the right pass, that.
Man, I remember you
that kind of shit. It's like one more pass and I can own the arena here at Bridgestone or whatever it was in Nashville.
Yeah, that's right.
But anyway, the last thing I want you to talk about is Milli Vanilli, because I think that was.
Oh yeah, Milli. Okay,
and it ends up.
Don't
forget the views or the clicks.
Yeah. Well, so Milli Vanilli, if you know that name, you know that story, and if you don't, you don't. But they cheated. They didn't sing their own hit song, but they were incredible dancers and great performers. But they did not sing the song, and then they won a Grammy for the best new song or best something. So I get this call. We're gonna. These guys are now in trouble. They're hated.
Shamed.
And they had the Grammy. They already won it, and they want to apologize to the public and demonstrate that they actually can sing the song. "Girl, You Know It's True" was at least the lyric.
Was the
probably
hit.
The hit. And people loved them. I've found out since. I wasn't even aware of them. I didn't even know the song. But anyway, I got this call. Yeah, they're going to apologize to the public in a press conference, but they're going to sing their song. They're going to sing the song and say, "See, we're good singers." So they hired a coach to teach them how to sing their own hit song, which is a fairly funny situation. Yeah. And they wanted me there to document that process and cut together a little reel to hand out to the press so that they could say, "Look, the guys are really working hard to learn their own song, and they're pretty good singers." Which I don't know if they were or not, but anyway, so I spent, once again, I'm in this weird situation of like, okay, so it's the two guys and their manager and this voice coach, the two voice coaches, a man and a woman, and a piano, and we're here for the day, and hopefully they'll.
It should only take a day.
I think that's what they thought, but anyway,
yeah.
I'm welcome. It's not like I'm the press.
Sure.
I'm a part of this, and so I got all these real cool shots of.
Oh, I've seen them.
The lyrics. I'm telling these people.
Yeah. I'm reinforcing
it. The lyrics, because they spoke. I think German or
German.
French.
German.
Yeah, okay, German. I don't even know, but so they had to write out the
phonetically.
Phonetically, like girl. They called it Gurl.
Yeah.
And then they would do a line at a time, and the coach would try to help. It was pretty fascinating.
Yeah, I'll bet.
In addition to being sort of hilarious / sad, but I'm just there to do my job, and I just loved it. And they were super nice guys and magnetic. personalities and, you know, beautiful, like
Yeah.
beautiful men
Model
and
types. Yeah.
yeah, like models. And everything about it was great.
You
Except it
said
was
they
a
were
shame.
very cool people.
They were very cool, and they were very appreciative that I was even there.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was quite a day. And then they had the press event, and it didn't go well because they stood up and sang the
Right.
song poorly, as we all remember. And then you said, well, if you still have that footage, you should post a little YouTube video. So I took a little time to get it transferred, and then cut together a little reel of that day, the way I just described it to you. I think it's like 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes. Posted it on YouTube, and just the other day, I
kind of forgot about it because we were just to jump in.
Like,
you and I were trying to. You have all this great footage, and we thought,
is there any use?
You should do something with this. Anyway, so that's you did it and kind of forgot about it, right?
It starts with doing one thing and see what happens, and I get messages from them from YouTube every now and then. And the other day I got one that said, "Congratulations, your Milli Vanilli video just reached 2 million views." 2 million. I mean, I know there's, you know, people that get 10 and 20 and 30 million, but I'm not Mr. Beast. I'm just like Scott McVeigh, you know, sitting here in my little office, and
it's like head shaking stuff.
Yeah,
when you told me how, and then you and I are at an age where we go, we don't know.
We're never gonna know.
We're never gonna know. And I know what we can do. That is still up on YouTube, on your channel.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, I left it. Yeah, it's just
because it's incredible, folks at home.
Yeah, take a look.
The two of you.
I would love to get 2 million.
2 million and 2.
Yeah, and 2 maybe. That'd be great.
No, because it's an amazing video. Because you see that. I mean, you're the only guy in the room with these.
Yeah.
In a way, making history. You know, weird history or semi funky bad history, but history nonetheless.
Well, it's just bad enough to be popular. You know,
it's got everything in it.
News. Yeah.
Thanks for doing it.
Oh, it's fun. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. I got to go take a nap.
Me too.